And welcome to Bad Company. I'm Dirt.
I'm BDVampire.
ConQueeftador here.
And today we're going to talk about what makes a business a business. Carl, what do you think?
I think what makes a business is actually communicating with with people. That's one biggest thing is communication. If you ain't got communication, then the business is gonna go to shit.
Right, okay. Tyler?
I'll actually follow up on that. I agree, communication is a big key aspect, but at the same time, without workers, integrity, honor, and a good system,
Yeah.
all of them are key factors to also keeping a business afloat.
Okay. Well, see, I'm also ironically gonna take it on that point, is that I agree with both of you. But honestly, my biggest thing about a company is that when you're doing business with other people, you don't no longer run your business. Your employers, the people that you are employing, now run your business. No, don't be wrong, you might be the head CEO, but you don't run your business no more. It's ran by millions and millions of people. So when you make promises to those people, and I'm getting to my point, when you make promises to people, when you make a false promise, that makes you look bad and makes your people look bad. So like that's how I see it. So with that, we're just gonna go ahead and continue on to the next segment. We have some businesses actually written down. Give me 2 seconds to pull up my list. We're just gonna name one off each of our list. And Carl, go ahead and you can start.
It's McDonald's. It's a restaurant, but
Okay,
Oh,
a lot of people go to that fucking place.
they do.
And it's for what? There's a lot of people that complain about it, how shitty it is. There's not really no good place that has a McDonald's.
So elaborate a little bit more. Like, what do you mean by good place? What do you mean no place is good? Like, you talking about fast restaurants in general?
No. Just like a McDonald's in general, because
Okay.
there's a lot of like complaints.
Right. Oh, no,
correct
I
me if
can.
I'm wrong, but by that, I'm pretty sure he means like big cities, like
Oh,
California,
okay.
cities
Okay.
in
Yeah,
California.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Chicago and
Big city.
stuff. Okay. So, like, what exactly is wrong with them? Like, what are they doing that could be fixed?
They're better training,
Better training? I mean, I can definitely agree on that.
because there's a lot of people that work there, especially freaking kids that come out of high school or are in high school. They
That's a whole different topic. Cause like just cause I'm not meaning to interrupt you, but like you bring up a good point, because like kids nowadays don't want to work, and when they do work, they complain about having to do that work, but you want to get paid for your work, don't you? Why don't you do the
Right.
work? And sometimes it does land on to the company that didn't train them properly, but it also becomes to the employee,
yeah,
because
that's
like
that.
it's the employee's job to also want to put forth that effort. Tyler, you got a company in mind?
I've got a very big, well-known company
Okay.
within the gaming industry.
Oh shit! All right.
That was well known for the game that made them as popular as they are, Fortnite. Big game.
Epic game. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What? Okay. All right. I'm kind of interested to see kind of where this goes.
What they're doing wrong is quite simple. They are not focusing on all of their games. They are solely focusing on 1 to 3 games at a time, and pretty much, to put it bluntly, saying F the rest.
I mean, this is not just Epic Games though. I mean, I can agree with you on that, but also Call of Duty, like Treyarch. I mean, they've pushed out the last 3 years. We've had nothing but a Call of Duty game, and each one is almost identically the same, just a different look and a different theme.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, if you look at the Call of Duty line, it's all based around the same thing.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
But outside of like what, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, all of them have really been realistic wars.
Yes, correct.
Epic Games has Rocket League. They have Fortnite, Valorant. I believe Steam is CS. What are some others?
I don't know a
I
whole.
could probably pull them up and know a crap, like know a lot of them, but off the top
Right.
of my head. But like for example, Fortnite OG season, a lot of players came back during that season. Like it reached its peak back at OG's remake, topping the original peak in like 2016, I think it was, roughly. And then they released Chapter 5, not even prepared for it. There was so many reported bugs and just mistakes that they made within the analytics between the weapons, the medallions being a prime example of it, the bugs, all of that combined, they clearly weren't ready for the update release.
Okay, and how could they have fixed that? Like in general,
By
like
making sure testing it, making sure it's ready.
right, but when you
Go
Instead of releasing it already,
right, but
instead of
you
like
initially
releasing it like
they had pushed back seasons before.
right, but you
Why
initially when
not
you
do the same?
right, but when you initially started your company, like when you picked the company that you picked, you said Epic
Yeah,
Games, and
again.
that they failed on, they only focus on certain games. Okay, how can they fix that? Like, how would they be able to fix that? Like, hire more
Why
people?
spread out? They could. They have a team for Rocket League and a team for Fortnite separate.
Right, but I'm asking you,
They
like, how
could.
could they fix that but they don't? Like, what would be their main solution? Hiring
I mean,
another
like you
crew?
said, they get a team for each game. They have the funds to do it. I'm sure they do. If they don't, there's an issue with how much money they rake in.
And how much they're
And I
putting
mean,
out.
right.
Oh, I agree on
They
that.
100% have the funds to be able to do it.
No, I agree.
Fortnite, Rocket League, and Valorant are their biggest money makers. And I'm sure within a week's time, with as much as Fortnite's item shop refreshes, and maybe even Rocket League, they bring in easily over roughly $5-10 billion in a week's time, just off one of them games.
Right. And so like, basic kind of going off of what I have here written down. So like the company that I was going to pick is Carpet Tech, or aka known as Artisan Floors to be exact. Like their problem, like kind of the similarity there actually, ironically, is that they make one person do the work as three. So pretty much like they'll turn around, for an example, you get hired on, they turn around, few months go by, they fire your supervisor, take you into an interview to take his position, give you his title, but don't give you a raise and expect you to do all three jobs plus train somebody. Like you can't expect somebody to do all that work for pennies. I mean, no offense, we're not Mexicans. We don't live in the 1900s anymore. And I understand that's some people would be like that's racist, or go into further explanation. Like, I'm not trying to pick just one group here. I mean, anybody. Nobody wants to work for pennies. So, like, the way that they could fix that is, like, for an example, if you ask for a raise and they tell you to wait 3 months, that's a problem. Especially after 6 months of you already doing a job that you've already been doing by yourself. So, like, they can implement raises. I mean, that's a solution. They could also implement the factor of, sending someone down from their headquarters to help out, because like, all their businesses are ran by a headquarters. I mean, some like places like McDonald's are not. I mean, some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are personally owned, some are not. So like, and it's not just one company that can use that solution. Everybody can. Because like McDonald's, for an example, you was talking about how they have shitty, their shit's shitty. Well, yeah, you're right. If they hire more people that actually cared about their job, which they have upstate, if they move them people down, they can fix that. Now, Epic Games, on the other hand, yeah, no, they can totally hire actually another crew to do it. But I actually want to go on the topic. Tyler, you actually brought up a question earlier. What was that question?
If you had a dream and you knew you wouldn't fail, how far would you dream it? How far would you go?
Carl? Yeah,
I'm to be honest with you, I don't know, because that question kind of stumped me.
So,
For
I'm gonna
real.
be realistic. I'd go all the way.
So my answer would be I would see, and that's what makes me different from Tyler, is I wouldn't go all the way, and the necessarily reason ain't because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to change. It's the factor of you can only go so far. Like, so like for an example, the things you have in your home, all them things equals success and happiness. Okay, all of that's gonna lead to your happiness. So if you turn around and set a goal super high to be a millionaire, and that's gonna make you happy, and you get to that point, there's no guarantee you're gonna be happy. You might still be wanting more. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna set my goal probably about chest height, not very high. And the reason is because I can keep knocking up that goal and keep pursuing the happiness that I want to pursue.
I mean, that's understandable, but at the same time, you also gotta take in consideration, though, that if you go through and you limit that, and you say you're gonna nudge it up, you're not really going as far as what you're dreaming then, right?
I mean, in a technical sense, in a technical sense, you would be technically correct, but it's also the pursue. It's what so getting to that goal is not going to make you happy. That's what I'm trying to explain here. Is getting to that goal is not going to make anybody happy. It's the process to that goal. So if you can't fail, there is no process. So learning, when you fail, it's a learning process.
Realistically, there's still a process that you have to go through.
Yeah, but you're not learning from it.
Guaranteed to get
Right.
it
So
done.
you're not failing and not learning from it. Every fail is a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one step closer to success. So if you don't fail, either, no offense, either you're lucky as fuck or you're special. And what
But
I don't mean,
at the same time,
Right,
though,
right.
the point of the whole saying is quite simple. The only person that stops you from reaching that goal
is yourself, of course.
is you yourself.
Of course. And I never said I wasn't going to just set it medium height and stick it for that forever. No, I even quote it. I'll nudge it. And it's because
Yeah.
like you want to, no offense, you don't, like, creating a business, and like especially for Derp Studios, like we want to create a business that is familiar, loving, and not just loving, but caring to, not it's just an employees, but it's employers, it's customers, everybody. So like the pursuit of happiness and like in a business technique, like the way that they see it is all about I fill your pockets, you fill mine. And that's not necessarily how it works. Like it is, don't be wrong, at the old bold state, that's how it is. But you can't get there if everybody's unhappy. So like that's what I mean, like when I say like I would never set my goal too high, but I would also never set it too low.
At the same time, though, back to your earlier point as well, you said money is the root of all evil.
It is.
But when it comes down to reality, almost anything that involves happiness
is money.
requires at least some form of amount of money.
Well, and that's where I was getting ready to go with my next question is that, so and I'm hoping you all have heard this term, money is time and time is money.
Mm-hmm.
That goes with everything. So like when I waste time, that's money that I could have been making. It's a waste. So like, I mean, you can necessarily them go together, but it's not necessarily like that sometimes, because sometimes it's worth wasting the time than speeding through it. You know what I mean? Like my point is that you don't want to turn it into a job when it can be a career.
Yeah.
Like you never want to overwork yourself. And that's I'm going to be honest, that is the number one problem with most businesses, that they overwork their workers. Either that they take the appreciation too much, or they expect the world out of you.
I mean, I'm not really looking to go too far in detail, but I mean, at the same time, when you say that, in order to actually start up the business, like in its beginning stages, the owner really realistically has to overwork themselves. So in my ideal, a lot of these business owners are under the impression, well, I overworked myself for 20 plus hours a week or a day non-stop, so you now have to suffer and go through what I went through. And I mean,
And then again, that's the part of you're going to lose, a lot of workers.
Right,
mhm.
no,
Because
I agree. I mean, that is probably the number one problem, is that they overwork themselves and expect other people to put themselves in their shoes and do that
their
work
shoes,
for
yeah.
you. And it's like, you can't necessarily do that. Just like, for an example, we're starting Derp Studios. If I put, like, say, an example wise, 3,000 hours in, I'm not expecting someone else to put 3,000 hours in unless it's 8-hour periods of a day. And honestly, we don't even expect you to work 8 hours. Like, we only want you to work about 4 to 6. And it's because we don't want to overwork you. I mean, no, 8 hours is a normal work day and would be a decent check. But be honest with me. Do you want to work every day of your life? No, I don't. I mean, I could definitely tell you the two that's in this podcast definitely don't want to work for the rest of their lives. Like, so the goal to get there is to take it one step at a time, but it's not the same. Okay, let's put it like this. It's not the same as me talking to one of you and turn around and saying, well, you're going to do to me, so I'm going to do to you. It doesn't work like that with business. And that's what they're trying to imply. That's where the information goes wrong.
I mean, let's put it like this, though. You're right on so many aspects of that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But let's put it like this. Business owners are, most of the time, when they're first starting out, they're chill, relaxed, and they just want to survive. You get people that make these huge industries, McDonald's being a prime example. Well, one prime example. Epic Games, Burger King, Wendy's, Walmart, etc. All the way down the line. At that point, once they survive and they know they're gonna survive, and they start making all this money profit, that's when the greed sets in.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree. Yeah, the
Yeah.
greed is definitely a problem.
Basically, a lot of it, like with like the restaurants and with all of it, it's just competition to who's better.
It is, and it
And
shouldn't be that
it
no
should
more.
not be that. It should not be that. We
I
should
mean,
all come together
it's always well.
and
Here's
be
the factor.
like,
Hang on.
all right, look,
Here's the factor with business, man. It's always going to be a competition with each other, which is perfectly fine. I mean, that's natural. I mean, it's fight. You know, eat or be eaten. Okay,
I mean,
but at the
if we're
same
talking
time,
about, though, statistically speaking, McDonald's has more sales on average within a day, month, week, year, whatever it may be. Statistically, more sales than any other fast food chain out there.
but
So at that point,
right.
my
who,
point
who
was
do they
that.
compete with?
I mean, okay. I mean, in that aspect, yes, you are correct. But we're talking as an aspect of, like, say, Wendy's when they first came out, or Freddy's, even better, Freddy's. When Freddy's first came out, no one knew of Freddy. Freddy's had maybe 2-3 shots, all right? And then
Yeah.
finally Freddy's started getting there, but they had to fight with everybody else. And that was my point, is like, it's eat or be eaten. So, like, necessarily, yes, I agree with you, Carl. Every company should kind of help each other, but at the same time, it's still always going to be someone's stuff is better than someone else's.
Right, and
Like,
that's what I put my input in. Is like I said, McDonald's is multi-million-dollar corporation bringing in more average sales than any fast food chain. Like they have nobody they have to worry about statistically,
right, but
whether it
okay,
be
but
money or
let's put it
sales.
like this: Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, Wendy's, they fight with each other. They compete with each other. Jack in the Box and Taco Bell 100% compete with each other.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even over like sandwiches. It's over goddamn tacos. Literally, everything that they make on their menu is mostly tacos, burritos, anything in that form. So like they compete with themselves. Wendy's would technically compete with McDonald's, but Wendy's also ain't that big either. You know, so like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're a big company and there's another big company, yeah, it's gonna be eat dog. That was the term I was looking for. Dog eat dog.
At the same time, though, when you get two companies like that side by side, 97, well, I'd probably push more, 95% of the time, it's down to who likes what side more. Like me personally, I'm more of a Taco Bell guy when it comes to the two. I've had both. I prefer Taco Bell.
I'm
And
gonna be honest. I only like Taco Bell for their fucking what are they? The quesadillas. I like their quesadilla and their Diablo sauce.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend that had actually introduced me to an actual like hidden menu style
Dude, there's
item from Taco Bell.
There's
And
honestly hidden menus everywhere. Seriously, everywhere.
always. But this one here is what got me hooked to Taco Bell. It's a chicken quesadilla with no cut. It's completely one piece.
Mm-hmm.
And you stick 2 Doritos Locos Tacos on the inside. And then you put what sauce you want on top of the tacos. And you fold it together. I
Sounds like
myself, I do
sounds like a
sauce.
giant ass taco.
It mixes so well that it just tastes phenomenal. At least to me.
But back, kind of, you know, I mean, we did kind of jump off topic a little bit, but you know, back to the thing is like, so now after, you know, having this conversation, would you change your answer when I asked you what makes a business? Would you still keep it the same, or would you change? You guys can go ahead.
mean,
You already know the order you guys are in, so you guys can go ahead and go around the table.
I mean, yeah, I would.
You would? What would your answer now be? Like, oh, hang on, sorry. You would keep it or change it?
I would keep it.
You would keep it? Okay, Tyler.
I mean,
Finish your food first,
I'd
sir.
be either
Finish
way,
your food.
honestly.
Finish your food. I hear you over there eating. I'll go ahead. I heard you though. Pretty much Tyler said either way he would most likely probably keep it the same. So mine, honestly, after this conversation, I would not change it. The fact is that what makes a business is teamwork. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna change my answer. It's teamwork. Like if you don't have, I mean, because that honestly puts Carl's information, your information, and what I said earlier all together. Because without communication, without a good system and a good team, your business is not going to be a business. It doesn't matter if you put all the work in or only 50% in. It's still a business. Like, so somebody, some way along the line is making a mistake. But that is it for this bad company. So go ahead and do us a favor, guys, and like always, stay in the shadow.